today, we're bringing those forgotten hits back to life. So let's count them down. The top 10 forgotten hits from 1971. Let's see how many of these you remember. Number 10, Mr. Big Stuff, Jean Knight.
Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff?
Let's start off with some sass. Remember this one, Mr. Big Stuff? Who do you think you are? Jean Knight's Mr. Big Stuff was everywhere in 1971. That funky bass line, those horns, her playful but cutting delivery, it was the perfect anthem for calling out arrogant men.
You're never gonna make me cry, Mr. Big Stuff, tell me.
Here's the wild part. This wasn't some fringe track. It actually went to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spent 5 weeks at number 1 on the R&B chart. It sold over 2 million copies. For a moment, Jean Knight was neck and neck with Aretha Franklin and Gladys Knight. And yet, after this smash, Jean never scored another big hit.
You're never gonna get my love.
The song lived on in commercials and movie soundtracks, but it's not a track you'll hear on classic rock radio or even most oldies stations anymore. So, be honest, did you strut a little when this came on the jukebox back then? 9. Treat Her Like a Lady, Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose.
You gotta treat her like a lady.
Here's one that probably made a lot of us hum along without even realizing it. The Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose delivered a catchy, smooth soul single with Treat Her Like a Lady. It climbed to number 3 on the charts in 1971 and was one of those feel-good, roll the windows down kind of songs. The lyrics were simple, almost like advice straight out of a pocketbook on manners.
You know what I mean? Oh, you got to love her.
Treat her like a lady, and she'll give in to you. It was a little corny, a little earnest, but totally infectious. The group had a couple more hits. Too Late to Turn Back Now was huge in '72. But today, unless you were deep into your 45 collection, you probably haven't heard Treat Her Like a Lady in decades. Here's a question. Did you ever dedicate this one to someone on the radio back in the day? 8. She's a Lady, Tom Jones. Now hold on, you might be saying, wait, Tom Jones is not forgotten. And you'd be right. Everybody remembers It's Not Unusual and his Vegas swagger. But here's the kicker. She's a Lady, released in early 1971, was actually Tom Jones' biggest U.S. hit ever.
She's a lady.
It went all the way to number 2 on the Hot 100. Think about that. Bigger than Delilah, bigger than What's New Pussycat. And yet, if you asked most people today to name a Tom Jones hit, She's a Lady doesn't usually make the cut. The song, written by Paul Anka, had that brassy, commanding feel that fit Tom perfectly. Ladies loved him, guys respected him, and in '71 this was blasting in every lounge, bar, and car radio across America. So why don't we hear it anymore? Maybe it's too locked in its time. But tell me, did this one ever make you try to belt it out in the shower? Number 7. I Don't Know How to Love Him, Helen Reddy. Before I Am Woman turned Helen Reddy into a feminist icon, she actually broke through with this softer ballad from Jesus Christ Superstar, I Don't Know How to Love Him. Hit number 13 on the charts in 1971, and it introduced America to Reddy's silky, emotional voice. The song was originally sung in the musical by Yvonne Elliman, but Reddy's version made it a pop hit. Now at the time, musicals were colliding with pop culture in ways we hadn't really seen before. Hair, Jesus Christ Superstar, Godspell, and this track was one of those rare Broadway-to-radio crossovers. But today, unless you were following Reddy closely, this one just kind of evaporated.
In very many ways.
Her legacy gets reduced to I Am Woman, but this song was the true start. Do you remember slow dancing to this one, maybe at a school dance or a wedding? Number 6, One Toke Over the Line, Brewer and Shipley.
One toke over the line.
Here's where things get a little groovy. One Toke Over the Line, Sweet Jesus. Yeah, this song was both a hit and a controversy. Brewer and Shipley were a folk rock duo, and their 1971 single climbed into the top 10. But here's the twist. While the song was clearly a cheeky ode to marijuana, some TV shows, like Lawrence Welk's of all places, mistakenly treated it as a gospel tune.
Sitting downtown in a railway station, one toke over the line.
Can you imagine little old ladies watching Lawrence Welk clapping along, not realizing it was about getting high? That actually happened. This song perfectly captured the counterculture vibe of the early 70s, playful, rebellious, and just a little absurd. But today, outside of stoner nostalgia circles, you almost never hear it. So, did you ever sing this one a little too loud when your parents were in the room? 5. Chickaboom, Don't You Just Love It? Daddy Dewdrop.
Chickaboom, chickaboom, don't you just love it, chickaboom.
Okay, admit it, this was the weird one you couldn't get out of your head. Chickaboom by Daddy Dewdrop was a novelty pop rock track that hit number 9 on the charts in 1971. It was goofy, with its low, almost cartoonish vocals and playful nonsense lyrics.
Last night I had a crazy dream.
It was the kind of song you might have laughed at, but still found yourself singing in the car or around the house. It was bubblegum, it was silly, and it was very much of its moment. But here's the thing. Songs like this are why 1971 was so unpredictable. You could go from Marvin Gaye's Mercy Mercy Me to Daddy Dewdrop on the same station. That's how diverse and bizarre the playlists were back then. So tell me, be honest, did this song annoy you or secretly make you grin? Number 4, Don't Pull Your Love, Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds.
Don't pull your love out on me, baby.
Now here's a smooth one. Don't pull your love out on me, baby. Hamilton, Joe, Frank, and Reynolds might have one of the most confusing band names in pop history, but this song was a massive hit in 1971, peaking at number 4 on the Hot 100. It had that soft rock, almost pre-Eagles California vibe, lush harmonies, a pleading love lyric, and just the right amount of polish to make it irresistible on AM radio. But unlike bands like Bread or Three Dog Night, these guys didn't really stick in the long-term memory. They had another hit later with Fallin' in Love, but today, even hardcore 70s fans sometimes go, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that one." So, who else remembers slow dancing to this one? Number 3, Stay a While, The Bells.
I guess I'm gonna stay with him a while.
Now this one will take you straight back. Stay a While by The Bells was a soft, dreamy duet that hit number 7 on the US charts and went to number 1 in Canada.
How he makes me smile.
The vocals, delicate, romantic, made it one of those late-night dedication-type songs you'd hear on AM radio while lying in bed.
She brushes the curls from my eyes.
The Bells were Canadian, and while they had a few hits up north, this was their big international breakthrough. But once the 70s moved on, the song faded from memory. Still, in 1971, this was the kind of track you'd sway to, eyes closed, maybe holding hands with someone you just met at a dance. Do you remember who you wanted to stay a while with back then? Number 2, If You Really Love Me, Stevie Wonder. Now this one might surprise you. Stevie Wonder, forgotten? Not exactly. But here's the deal. If You Really Love Me was a huge hit in 1971, reaching number 8 on the charts. It came during Stevie's transition from his Little Stevie Motown years
You are saying, baby, it's time to go.
into his groundbreaking, socially conscious 1970s era. This song was upbeat, joyful, with Stevie's trademark harmonica and that unmistakable Motown groove. But because it came right before masterpieces like Superstition and Higher Ground, it tends to get overshadowed. In its moment, though, this was blasting out of every radio and school gym dance. So here's the question. Do you think this one deserves a spot right alongside Stevie's later classics? Or is it more of a forgotten gem? Number 1, Me and You and a Dog Named Boo, Lobo. And finally, at number 1, a song that's pure 1971 in every way. Lobo's Me and You and a Dog Named Boo might sound corny today. But back then, it was an anthem of freedom, youth, and a little bit of wandering hippie spirit. The song hit number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Lobo's breakout hit.
Oh, how I wish we were back on the road again.
The lyrics were simple, about traveling the country with nothing but love and a trusty dog. But that simplicity was exactly what made it so relatable. It was the perfect sing-along for road trips, with that folksy pop sound that was all over early 70s radio. And yet, like so many of these songs, it just disappeared from the playlists. When people talk about singer-songwriters of the era, they mention James Taylor or Cat Stevens, but Lobo gets left behind. Still, for those who remember, it's impossible to forget that chorus. So there you have it. 10 forgotten hits from 1971, the year everything changed. It's crazy, isn't it? You can close your eyes and suddenly you're back in 71, sitting in your first car with the windows rolled down, hanging out with friends, or tuning your little transistor radio under the covers late at night. That's the magic of these forgotten songs. They're not just music, they're memory triggers. They take you back to a very specific place, a very specific feeling. Now, I want to know from you, which of these songs do you remember most? Which one took you straight back to 1971? And are there any that we missed that you think deserve to be on this list? If you had a good time walking down memory lane with me, do me a favor. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite forgotten song from 1971. Share this with a friend who lived through it too. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Decade Legends for more trips through the music you thought you remembered. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep the records spinning and keep those memories alive.